Hey guys, it's Itchy. Today we're going to be playing Foundry. Foundry is very much a Satisfactory inspired factory building game where in 3D you explore, gather resources, process those resources, and use them to expand your factory. So there was an update recently, as you can see, Galactic Commerce. So we're starting a new playthrough and check out all the new features. So there are different planets you can start on. I'm just going to start on the starting planet, which is this one. I don't really care which seed. We'll just do random. We'll give it a name. Start game. Now, I have had this game for quite a while. I did actually support it when it was back on itch.io, when the original developers were making this game. They have passed the project on to Paradox Software. And those guys have really taken it commercial since they got their hands on it. It was quite a small team earlier, and so there's a lot more features and a lot bigger game, and it's being constantly updated, and we're going to check it out. So,
welcome, operator. I'm Carl, your facility management artificial intelligence. Congratulations on acquiring a building permit and a derelict space station on this resource-rich moon, an ideal spot for industrial business endeavors. My goal is to assist you in setting up this factory. Let's run a few basic checks before we get started. Open your map to check your surroundings. Fantastic. There are several ore patches in the vicinity. Equip your ore scanner from the inventory and use it to locate the ore patches.
okay. So, B is the backpack. We can stick that. We'll stick that on 0, I guess. Let's do a ping.
To get started, approach both of the ore patches and mine some ore.
So we're just going to follow the quest chain. Now, similar to Satisfactory, this game you need a lot of space. Don't be fooled into thinking you can make a tight and compact factory. You need a lot of space. So I'm just going to follow these quest chains. The beginning is quite slow, so if I skip forward bits and pieces, that's why. I'm just trying to keep the viewing entertainment as succinct as possible. So, all right. So what does it want? It wants 100 of each. We can take these top ones off. These are actually little nodes sticking above the patch, as you saw when we did the scan. It actually goes underground. You can sort of see a 3D model representation of it there. So we'll just grab all these things off the top. These do get in the way later anyway, so you kind of want to move these all off. So, similar to most of these types of games when you start off, you just sort of grab as much as you can, grab everything. It's all kind of used at some point in time. Alright, so we've got at least 100 with that one. The other one was over here. All these trees and things, plants, you use those later. You're getting biomass out of these. Not so much the stones, but we will clear this out eventually. Now, the way the game works is your machines require power, which you'll see as part of the tutorial. Everything's built on a grid. The grid will pass the power. So if something's on the grid, it'll be getting power, and you'll see that when I start building platforms. Alright, 72, 90. Alright, we've got what we want.
Great. Now that we have an initial supply of ore, we need to smelt it into plates and rods. Go back to your drop pod and use the built-in smelters to create your first crafting materials.
Alright, so the drop pod has these built-in smelters, as you can see. They're not very efficient, but we'll just use them to start with. So I click on that, it inserts everything out in my inventory, it'll turn them into rods. This guy over here, same deal. Stick the xenoferrite on there, it's going to turn it into plate. So while it's doing that, I'm going to go back and continue to mine these out. Now the smelters that come with the drop pod are not as efficient as the ones that you can make yourself. So I'll do the bare minimum on the drop pod, and then we'll transition to the next ones as soon as we can. But for now, we'll just keep following the quest chain. so it looks like it's all smelted. Take those out. We'll take those out.
Now that we have basic materials available, we should start crafting building blocks which act as a foundation for other buildings. To do so, you need to open the crafting menu and click the desired items. Then, place them in the shape of a platform next to one of the ore patches. The orange ore will be in higher demand. I suggest starting with that.
Okay. Yes, the orange ore. That is this one here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to... where do we want this? Let's have a look around first. I want to look at the height. Right, so the map's showing some other material here that I don't know what that is. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick run around. I'll do a quick scout of the area and then I'll come back. Alright, so I did a bit of a run around. We've got some more ore over here. We have some more there and there. These are all resources that I don't know yet because I've got to discover them by going through the tech tree. Now, the reason why I wanted to do that little scout is I want to know where I want to sort of start sending my factory. This is a mountainside here, so I'm not going to be able to go that way too much. We've got water behind us. I'm not going to go that way too much. We will need water later. So we sort of want to start building our factory this way, I guess. The reason why I want to know where the other ore patches are is because the throughput very quickly becomes not enough, and you really need to get more of the drones down mining. So the next process that I want to do is I'm going to keep following. It says open the crafting menu. All right, so C is crafting. Craft 30 building blocks. Place 30 building blocks. These are your building blocks. I can only do 2 at the moment, so I need more resources. So, again, not very efficient, but we will use these miners, use the furnaces, sorry, to create more items. All right, so let's go and grab these off as well. Actually, how many do I get? Oh, I have built enough, sorry. I didn't realise it built so many. So you get... Oh, you get 20 per. Okay, that's good. Now, the next thing I want to work out is the height that I want to start my platform at. Because we want one height basically all the way through if we can, until we want to go up and down levels. But for now, I just want to keep it the same level. And I don't want to be digging dirt out everywhere just to keep a platform underneath my factories. So let's go and have a quick scout around for that as well. So we're over here. Yeah, maybe this height here will be enough. Yeah, let's go with this height here. So what we're going to do is just clear out the area a little bit. The ore patch is over here, isn't it? Okay, so we've got an ore patch there. We want to go... Yeah, this level's fine. So now we're going to start placing our platforms. Okay. Let's drag this down here. We can drag and drop like that.
To automate ore extraction, we need to set up a drone miner. Craft one and place it on top of your foundation right next to the ore patch.
Okay. Drone miner. Craft one of those. As you can see, it's going through the individual components it needs. I have enough material, otherwise it'd be greyed out. And as soon as she's made, we'll drop it on the hotbar and drop it in place. Now the panel, as you can see here, is what you want to look at, so you want to keep that where it's accessible.
drone miners and most other buildings require power to function. Let's build a biomass generator on the same foundation as the drone miner. Once built, you need to harvest some plants and trees with your mining drill to collect biomass. Insert the biomass into the generator and it will start to power all buildings on the same foundation as the generator.
Alright, pretty straightforward, yeah? Wrong button. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so now, the way these work, the drones come out of here. All of these spots are input-output slots. So we're going to want to output somewhere. So what we'll do is we'll put the burner over here. Let's create the biomass burner there. I have one of those. And as I said, as long as it's sitting on the platform, all these platforms conduct the electricity. Alright, so it doesn't matter where it goes. Let's shove it this way. And we've got a little bit of biomass on us from the trees and things we've been picking up, so we'll shove that in there. Alright.
Go watch your mining drones acquire your first automated ore. Aren't they beautiful? Anyways,
Okay, so they're charging.
we need to get going. Let's build a smelter next.
And as you can see, so there's 4 drones at a time on this guy, and they all return ore, and it shows you how much ore is in there. Okay. Alright, so craft the smelter. Again, these are more efficient than the original drop pod. Actually, better go and check that for material. Yeah, you know what? Let's grab those. We'll wait for those to finish. We'll come back for them. Okay, so we'll do the quick and easy setup now. I've run out of platforms. Give me a couple more of those. We'll eventually cover this whole area, but for now, we just want to get this started. Flashlight. What is my flashlight? Flashlight, alpha light. There we go. Alright, so what are we up to? We're up to 72. We'll let it do its thing. Alright, wants me to place the smelter now. And again, so we'll just line it up with this. Just for now.
The smelter is more efficient than the inbuilt drop pod smelter, so you should start using this from now on. Another benefit is that we can automate the smelters to make our life easier. For this, you need to connect the drone miner to a smelter by using loaders and conveyor belts. Let's start by crafting the required machines. 2 loaders, 1 for the smelter and 1 for the drone miner, as well as a few belts to connect them. While you're crafting those, let us recap the plan. We will set up a basic factory to provide us with the most crucial resources to get started. Then, we'll look at getting the space station up and running again, so that we can use it as a sales hub for our future products.
Okay. So, let's see. Manage inventory. I need to make some of these. Put those in there and it'll do it. Now, it's not connected to this yet, but I need some more rods before I can make the things that I want to make. So, let's just get that going. So, I need 2 loaders, unloaders. It's going to make those. And then I need some belt. I might as well just make a bunch of those. Okay, loader, unloader can go here. Belt can go here. So, again, the reason why I want to line all this up, as I said before, this is the entry here. So what we do is...
You have the machines necessary to connect the drone miner to the smelter. Now, attach a loader to each machine and connect them with conveyor belts.
Okay, so what it's saying is it wants me to watch the tutorial. Alright, press F2. First production line. Read through that. Connect the drone miner now. So again, we're going to drop this guy here. We're going to drop this guy here. we're going to toggle this to an output. We'll drop some belt underneath, and we can run it. Sorry, intake. So make that an output, make that an input.
The machines and have automated the tedious process of moving items by hand. Isn't automation great? Now it's time to scale up and build more smelters. A single belt full of ore can feed multiple smelters using the power of loaders. The info database has a diagram if you need one. A loader only adds enough items at a time to a machine to ensure it doesn't stop. This makes it easy for you to have multiple machines fed by a single long belt.
Okay. Now, from memory, I think one drone port with a full belt, or I should say, one full belt can feed 8 smelters. Don't quote me on that, but it's something like that. So, all right. So we're going to let this finish. The reason why this isn't loading because it's a different ore, and obviously you can't load it into that until that's finished. I don't have the mats to build anything else yet, so that's why I wanted to get the rods. So we'll grab those. What can we do now? Yeah, okay, so smelters. I actually want some more platforms first. I'm going to want some more loader unloaders, and we'll build another smelter. So we'll just slowly expand, and then what we'll do is once we're finished with this here, we'll do the same again on the other side for the technium or whatever it's called. What's it called? It's called technum ore. Okay. So that's almost done. While we're waiting on that, this obviously is not efficient one going into one, but we'll, as I said, as we create more platform, I'll make more room and we'll continue the smelting out here. So let's do a little bit of that. Fill in these gaps. Yeah, look, that's enough room for now. 6 isn't going to get me real far, is it? Alright, so yeah, now we need those plates to kick in. So I made another smelter. So what we'll do is we'll stick that one there as well. And then what we can do is we can do this. Oop. Have I got any dirt on me? Let's have a look. Oh, wrong button. Let's just fill in some of these gaps. I actually got more of that, haven't I? 5. Not that I need to, but it just means if I fall off there again, I don't have to worry about it. Alright. So what we're going to do, we'll actually pick that up. F. Good news is you get all of the material back. You don't actually lose anything. Yep. Okay. So let's grab that now. Alright, so that's going to start now producing that. This should do the same. Yep, so now we've got 2 smelters producing the plates. Straight from the ZFR. Okay. So that's running. Let's do something similar on the other side. Wait for some of these plates to get made. And then what we'll do eventually is we'll put an output on this side so that they come out here and then go down to storage or down to somewhere else, alright? But again, that's long-term plans. So what I'll do is I'm just going to pick up some more fuel on the way over here, and we'll do something similar over here. We're going to set up another mining drone with a couple of smelters on the other side, just to get us going. Okay, anything in this guy? Oh yeah, we'll take those. Alright. Drones are working away. It looks like they're probably full. Probably can't do a lot. Yeah, 199, 200 is the max. Take those, take those. What can we make now? Alright, so we want a drone miner I can probably join them eventually, but for now I'll just make another burner. I'll make 2 more arms. I'll make a little bit more plate. Foundation, that should be it. So let's go over and do this. Now what I want to do is, I want to make sure I'm on the right height. So top left hand corner, height is 134, so this is a height of 135. So I want to make sure I'm on a height of 135. Alright, so let's just clear out a few more things here. Seems a bit high. Maybe not. So from this level, yeah, from this level I need to go up one. Okay. Don't need this here, but I just want to get my height right. Okay. So yes, it's on top of that one. Alright, what else have I got in my inventory that I can get rid of? We can go for what he is on the side here. Okay, it's not ideal because the drones are going to travel a long way down. Excuse me, but for the sake of keeping everything on the same platform, we'll just do it this way for now. Okay. Now that I've done that, I can't get up there. Oh, actually, I don't need to do that. I can just clear some more of these things. It's all going to come out anyway. Alright, so that's going to be these guys. Where is my drone? My drone is there. Let's put it here for now. So as you can see, initially there's a lot of running around, a lot of backwards and forwards. A lot of getting this set up. I'll be building a lot of this platform because I want to cover, you know, as much of this area as I can. People do build vertically, you can do that. My preference is to keep everything on one level. Alright, so only because it's out of the way here, let's drop this guy down. Because that can start. Sorry, that can start these guys off. We need 2 more smelters. We've got some of those, we've got some of those. Alright, so that's fine. So just the platform there, we want to create a bit more space here. Yep. And again, I'm going to be limited by the area I've cleared for now. So let's set this one up right. Let's go like this. Let's put an output here. Excuse me. Alright, so what we're going to do now is drop our smelters in here. We need space of 1. One there. I actually wanted to put the panel on this side, so let's pick that up.
We have completed our initial mission of setting up a smelting facility. We've done a great job, haven't we? According to our business plan, new machine blueprints will be created from research. My archive contains plans for a research server. Through material analysis, I should be able to provide a beacon blueprint, which we are going to need to notify the station of our planetary location. Let's get going and build a research server.
Alright, so as you see, as you progress through, it unlocks more and more items for you. So now it's at the point where we need to use research to unlock all that new sort of stuff. So over here in the science, we've got a research server, and we've got some science packs. I've got enough to make that. I'm going to make all those as well. In the meantime, I'm going to continue to clear this out, and I'll build some more platform and drop that. So I might fast forward while that happens. These are just going to smelt. I'm not going to continue anymore, but we'll get this area cleared up. We'll get a lot of platform down. Alright, we'll see you in a little bit.